So, in recent times, we have heard a lot of negative news about Germany. And the question which most of the people ask if it's still worth living in Germany or if it's still worth coming to Germany. This burning question we will be addressing in this video. So, you've heard about these headlines which are calling Germany the sick man of Europe. Should you still dream of coming to Germany here, or if you're already in Germany, should you go back? Let's break it down in this video for students and also for working professions, but separately. Because I believe the answer for both of them could be a bit different. So without any further delay, let's start this video. So hi, my name is Gaurav, and for last 10 years I've been living and working in Germany. And through this video, I'm going to address this burning question of what's exactly happening in Germany. So what exactly is the current reality of Germany? And why is there so much of negative news around it? Well, this is mostly because of the economic and political conditions which are happening in Germany currently. So for past 2 years, Germany has been showing negative GDP growth. Manufacturing has been declining, which was kind of the backbone of Germany. And this is mostly because cost of energy is rising because of the Ukraine-Russia war, which is happening. And this has led to a lot of uncertainty and instability in both industrial sectors as well as in households in Germany. And on top of that, there has also been a lot of political instability in the country, where we have seen that the governments have frequently changed and there was not so much clarity provided around the policies they were making. On top of it, we have heard that there were a lot of tech layoffs and over 12,000 jobs have just disappeared. And big brands have downsized themselves and left, in many cases, the country, which is very sad for the economy. But to dig one step deeper, we need to understand traditionally Germany is a very expensive market. There are fair labor laws, and which makes the hiring of people a bit expensive in these countries. Also, the prices of raw material has been increasing for quite some time in the country, which makes the overall manufacturing sector less lucrative for companies. So what's happening is these companies, because of these high labor cost, material cost, strict regulation, unclarity in policies, and a lot of political instability, were trying to move out of Germany. And they were moving into East European countries or Southeast Asian countries like India. So you would have heard a lot of news that a lot of manufacturing plants were moving either to East European nations or to Southeast Asian countries like India, Indonesia, Vietnam, etc. And this has led to a lot of jobs getting disappeared, specifically in manufacturing and tech sector here in the country. So this is the bad news. This is what the media has been showcasing up till now. But on contrary, I've also seen that a lot of people from India are getting jobs directly in Germany in highly technical fields, in so-called high demand jobs, or the jobs of future, which we'll talk about later in the video. So after this, I would like to divide this video into two sections, and one would be specifically for students and other would be for the professionals. So one would be for people who want to study in Germany, and other would be who want to work in Germany. So let's start with the student section first. So these economic storms don't last for too long. Usually they settle down in 1 or 2 years. And this is a perfect golden window opportunity for students who want to come to Germany and study here. Why? Because if you start your education right now, hopefully in 1 to 2 years, the situation would improve, and then you would have better job opportunities lying around and you would be more employable. Yeah. So I think if you want to study, this is a golden time right now. I would not think so much, even if you're a professional and have lost your job at this point of time. I think it's a great time to invest for a master's or an MBA and utilize that time, because this would also save you that gap period in your CV. Secondly, if you're planning to get a master's and you've already made your mind, you should try to target those industries which have high demand jobs, and not for any other master's degree in the country, because in long run, the high demand job sectors would have more job opportunities over any other sectors. So as an expat, I always suggest people that try to get jobs in new technology. If possible, try to change your sector. So for example, it's no big secret that AI is all over. So degrees, for example, in ML engineering or AI product management or AI project management or data science, these kind of degrees would still hold value in future. So after 2 years when you pass, or even while you are doing your graduation, it would be very easy for you to get internships, work student opportunities, and then eventually a good paying job. And also these jobs, which I am going to suggest in a while, they do not require you as per to speak so much German. I mean, it's comparatively easier to get English jobs in these sector. Now, if you plan to do a master's in, let's say, marketing or branding or sales or any other communicative job, the first firewall or first wall you're going to hit is the language wall. Now, it's no secret that in Germany, language is a big issue, and most of the expats face this issue that they are not able to speak so good language, and then eventually this becomes a problem while finding the jobs. But this is not true for every sector. For sectors like marketing, branding, sales, where a lot of communication is required, you can easily try to navigate around them. Don't get into such jobs, because this can make you hit the wall very fast, even though they are very lucrative jobs and they pay really good, especially the sales ones. But still, the problem is most of the time a native German speaking person would always be given a priority in these jobs over any other expat who cannot speak German so well. So if you feel your German is fantastic and you can speak like a native, go ahead with these. If not, I would recommend to avoid these jobs and these study courses and try to get and do something which is more technical, where English opportunities are more, they are less communicative and still high paying. So this is one thing. Now you may ask, what are these kind of jobs? So these kind of high demand jobs are mostly AI related, data science related. You can try for cybersecurity related jobs, robotics, these kind of jobs where communication is not so high, but you are paid for your technical knowledge, your brains. And also I would suggest talk to a lot of people so that because this would increase your job chances. This will increase, people would know you, and you never know what job roles might click for you in this. And similar experience I have also had in the past, where I came to Germany. I was a bit scared, worried and shy, so wasn't doing as much networking as possible. But then in few of the university workshops, I realized that, hey, this is wrong. I need to go ahead and be more proactive. So I start doing those. And after 3-4 job fair events, something clicked in one of the companies, and I knew a specific technology back then, which helped me to get a first internship during my university time. And this was fantastic because suddenly, like, the pressure of paying back the loan and getting a job became a little soothing, because firstly, A, I was getting experience, and B, I was getting paid for it, right? And this would have never happened if I would not be networking rigorously. And the last thing is, if you plan to come to Germany, language is something you cannot escape. I mean, you would have to learn it at some point of time, whether you're applying for citizenship, buying groceries, or trying to apply for jobs. Because even if you're applying for English jobs in the country and you could speak a line or two in German, it does give a good impression in the interviews. For bigger companies, in some cases, this might not be true and they would be asking only for English, but to get these jobs, it's very difficult and it's highly competitive. So I would suggest start investing a little bit of time in learning language, at least for 2 to 3 years when you are in the country, and then it's a choice for you, because eventually living here you start communicating a little bit and you learn a word or two here and there, which can navigate you through most of the situations. But nevertheless, if you're planning for high-end leadership roles or more flexibility in career, then this is not an option. You would have to learn German. Now, for me, I did officially a C1 level German, but I think my language skills are somewhere around B2 when I speak. I do a lot of mistakes while speaking, grammatical mistakes, but nevertheless, that does not stop me from speaking. I am very confident in that. and I am able to communicate myself in most cases and get out of the situation. And this is the least you should also try to have. Yeah. In worst cases, this should be the kind of language B1, B2 that you should be able to speak, communicate, and try to at least tell people what you want to say. Yeah. All right. So next point is for professionals. Now, this is for anybody who is still in Germany and trying to search for a job, got laid off, or somebody who wants to apply from India directly. Yes, many of them do not know that you can get the jobs directly from India. And this could be both. Either you are working in a company which is multinational and then you can request your managers to send you to Germany, or you can apply internally in the company if you're already in a bigger company like SAP or Bosch or something. And second is you can also get directly hired. I have seen personally many cases where people have applied to jobs in high growing startups in Berlin, in Munich, and they have received jobs. And not any jobs, they have got like really good salary jobs. And when I say good salary, it's easily above 1 CR in Indian INR rupees. Yeah. So this I have seen a lot, and this is possible. The chances are less because these are mostly real for those jobs which are highly technical and people are not able to find these experts in the country. For example, if you are a security architect for AI or some kind of a special ML AI developer, these kind of roles I've mostly seen that companies are more open to hire from abroad also because it's very hard for them to find these skills in the country. The other problem which I have seen for professionals is that there has been a stagnation in salaries in many jobs. And for last 2-3 years, I've seen that the salaries have not increased drastically like how the expenses have. Now, the labor laws and all these work councils are trying to do their best, but there is always a negotiation between the company because the companies are not performing well. So obviously, where would they pay from? So they have increased, but not drastically. I mean, I've seen those golden years of Germany where the expenses and then of course this language is an issue. So, and obviously then language on top is always an issue for professionals. So if you're applying directly from India, then I would highly recommend that start learning some of it. Yeah. Now I've seen some cases where people have got English jobs directly from India, but again, they were like more technical in nature. Now, the question you may ask is if it's worth coming to Germany in this case. And I would say, like currently at this point of time, you can come for education purposes, but I would not recommend you to come to Germany at this point of time till the situations improve a bit in the country. And I could see like much better opportunities back in the country. So technical jobs which have moved to India and a lot of good new opportunities have opened up in the country. So, and even the salaries are quite comparable if you see like between India and Germany. So if you're planning to come as a professional, I would still suggest think again. Maybe there are better alternatives over Germany at this point of time. And I mean, I'm happy to consult. I will put the link for my consulting below. So if you are still not able to decide and you want to discuss with me one-on-one, you can feel free to do that. It's much cheaper than what you would have already paid and then regretted coming to Germany. So it's better to discuss because every situation is different. All of you have different financial situation, different qualification, different job experiences. So there is no one solution that fits all, but it has to be tailored a bit according to the situation. And I'm happy to talk to you if you want and consult you more in this direction. But if you are a professional, I would still recommend that the Indian job market seems to be doing a little better over the German job market from my experience. So this is what I would say. Now to wrap up and conclude the video again, if you're a student or if you're a professional willing to study in Germany, I think it's a golden window. Definitely come. Do the masters. In 2 years, hopefully the job market would improve and so would your chances. This will give you an opportunity to pivot your career into a high demand skill. So this is a win-win situation, I would say, for anybody who wants to do a master's or a bachelor's in the country at this point of time. For professionals, I would say wait and see. Wait till the point the situations improve because a lot of policymakers, politicians, bureaucrats are trying to improve the situation. They have invested a lot of money in the economy to make it turn around. They have done it in the past. So I have full faith in the system for sure. But nevertheless, based on your financial appetite, your risk appetite, you would have to think again before taking this option into consideration of if you should come to Germany or not. And that's it. I hope this video helps. For more videos on career related to Germany, I've created a playlist here, so feel free to check them out. I've also created some videos on how the CV format should be and what kind of strategies you could apply to get an English job in the country, so you can also check those videos. And I'll also put the link to our community in the description below, where you can feel free to join. We keep adding free bees to help expats like yourself to get settled and get job in Germany. And if you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comment section below. Till then, we'll see you in the next one.